Comedian Colin Yost made President Biden the butt of a joke about RFK Jr. at this weekend's White House Correspondents' Dinner. Take a look.
By the way, President Biden, isn't it crazy that he's only our second Catholic president? And what's even crazier is that in just a few short months, we'll have our third in RFK Jr.
A few laughs there. NewsNation contributor and veteran political and media strategist Kurt Bardella is with us now to talk more about it. The whole room wasn't laughing, but it does beg the question, and welcome to you, Kurt, as always. People who are not satisfied with the ticket right now, if it's Biden-Trump, are looking for a third option. What would you tell those people who are on the fence about RFK Jr. and what he has to offer, and does he pose a real threat?
You know, it's interesting because both the Biden campaign and now the Trump campaign are saying a vote for Bobby is a vote for fill in the blank. And in a lot of ways, it seems to cut both ways. That every vote that he takes away, perhaps from a Joe Biden, he also takes away from Donald Trump. You look at the type of people earlier on in this campaign that were gravitating towards it, and even just by the media appearances he was making, people like Tucker Carlson, people like Breitbart, people like Sean Hannity. That comes more from the Trump universe. And of course, now you have the Kennedy name, the most famous name in Democratic political history. So there's concern that he's going to pull from the Biden campaign for people who are disaffected and not particularly pleased right now with Biden, particularly the vulnerability that he has right now with everything happening in the Middle East. A lot of younger, more, quote, progressive voters are unhappy and disenchanted with Biden. There's an avenue there for Kennedy to take away some of those votes, too. So he's kind of pulling from both sides right now, and neither side is really excited about that.
Right. So the biggest thing he has going for him is that he's not Biden or Trump. But beyond that, what else is working in his favor?
Well, I think that he's got to do a little bit more now than just stay in those kind of, he's polling anywhere between 14-16% at any given place. Like, obviously, the most important thing is getting on the ballot and qualifying to be on the ballot, particularly in the states that matter most, like Michigan, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada, et cetera, Georgia. If he's not on the ballot, none of this really matters. It's all performative. And so his focus right now, more than anything, should be having enough signatures, doing what you got to do to qualify in those respective states.
One of the biggest things when you bring up RFK Jr., people talk about vaccines. What are some other things, politically speaking, that are working against him, challenges for him?
Well, I think that he kind of has a mixed bag history with his environmental record. He started out as a very noted environmentalist, but after he kind of left that world, took on a lot of energy, oil money, and clients, and so it kind of cuts both ways. For last week, a lot of the environmental groups and folks that even he's worked with in the past came out starkly against him. I also think it's never a great look when almost a totality of your entire family is endorsing Joe Biden. They made a big show of that last week at the White House with the president. If the people who know you and are related to you are the ones saying, do not vote for this guy, we vote the other guy, that's just not a great look.
Right. And you wonder where that's born from, right? Is that just Democrats stick with Democrats and you have gone your own way? Or does it say more about him as a person?
I think there's a lot of rift within that Kennedy family, honestly. Even just some of the things that we have seen, Kennedy, Bobby calling for a pardon of, or at least a commutation of the sentence of the person who, supposedly shot and killed his dad. The rest of the family was hardly against that, very hardly against that. Kennedy went the other way. It's a very complicated family dynamic, just the Kennedy family. And we're seeing some of that really come to light, obviously during COVID. His stance on vaccines was completely contrary to where the rest of that family was, and that was another point of contention. A lot of them have publicly, over the last couple of years, spoken out saying, please, Bobby, take a step back. This is not indicative of what we feel or what our family feels or what our father may have felt. And so, again, this is all just kind of going to air out in public as this progresses.
It's a fight to be part of the conversation, which he appears to be, a fight to get on the ballot, and now apparently a fight to get on that debate stage. Kurt, as always, nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.